All right, today we're grabbing our digital shovels and hard hats because we're about to become blockchain detectives. Our mission is to unearth the secrets hidden deep inside the Bitcoin blockchain, and we're going to do it by looking at just one single, perfectly preserved moment from its past.
I mean, have you ever wanted to be a blockchain archaeologist? Because that's basically what we're doing. Every single block on the Bitcoin network is like a fossil. It's a digital artifact, perfectly preserved from a specific moment in time. So let's start our digital dig, find one of these artifacts, and see what stories it has to tell.
Okay, here's our expedition plan. First, we'll set the mission. Then, we'll find our target's unique ID. From there, we'll unlock all its data, decode what we find, and finally, we'll talk about why any of this actually matters. It's a pretty straightforward path from question to discovery.
So, our mission is clear. We want to pull out and examine one specific moment in Bitcoin's long and storied history. That means we have to find the right block. But with hundreds of thousands of them out there, how do you even point to just one? Well, it turns out there are two main ways to find a block. You can use its height, which is really just its sequential number, kind of like saying you want to read chapter 5 of a book. Or you can use its hash, which is a unique cryptographic fingerprint. The height is like a general area on a map, but the hash is the exact GPS coordinate. And for our dig, we absolutely need that precision.
So let's do it. Let's go from that general map to the precise GPS coordinate. We have the chapter number in mind. Now we just need the unique identifier that's going to lead us right to our artifact. And you know what? The process is surprisingly simple. First, we just pick a block height. For our little expedition today, let's choose block number 123,456. Then, we use a command line tool to ask the Bitcoin network, hey, what's the unique hash for this block number? We run that command, and boom, the network spits back this long string of letters and numbers. That right there, that's our GPS coordinate. It's the one-of-a-kind cryptographic fingerprint for block 123,456. Now we are ready to start the real dig. With our unique hash in hand, it's time for the most exciting part, the digital excavation. We're about to use this key to unlock a digital treasure chest and see exactly what was going on in the Bitcoin network at this specific moment in history.
And this next step is just as straightforward. We take that unique hash we just found and we feed it into a new command called getBlock. This is us telling the network, okay, show me everything you've got for the block at this exact location.
And here's the command. We're basically pointing our digital shovel right at the X on the treasure map. The second we run this, we unearth the entire story of this block, preserved perfectly for us to analyze.
And success! We've excavated our digital artifact. But a good archaeologist doesn't just find things, they analyze them, right? So let's decode the blueprint of this block and see what each piece is really telling us.
So what we get back is something called a JSON object. Now, it might look a little technical, but it's just a really organized way of presenting data. Think of it as the complete fossil record of our block. It contains every single detail. Let's zoom in on a few of the most important fields here. First up, confirmations. This tells us how many blocks have been mined after hours. In this case, over 650,000. That means our block is buried deep, deep, deep in the blockchain. This number is a direct measure of its security. The deeper it's buried, the more impossible it becomes to alter.
Next is height, which you'll remember is where we started. This just confirms that, yep, there were exactly 123,455 blocks created before this one. It's the block's chronological chapter number in the grand story of Bitcoin. And check this out, NTX, which just stands for the number of transactions. In this specific moment, captured forever by block 123,456, there were exactly 13 transactions recorded. It's a tiny, perfect snapshot of the economic activity on the network at that time.
You know, it's also really fascinating to see how Bitcoin keeps time. You've got two timestamps here. The first one is just what the miner said the time was, and that could potentially be manipulated. But the second one, median time, is way smarter. It's calculated from the 11 previous blocks. That makes it a much more reliable and tamper-resistant historical record.
Okay, so we've dug up the data, we've analyzed the pieces. But what's the bigger picture here? Why does any of this raw data actually matter? Well, it's all about the story that's written in the digital stone. When you step back, you realize that each piece of data we uncovered tells a vital part of the Bitcoin story. Confirmations? That's network security and immutability. The heightened timestamps? That's a verifiable history that literally can't be rewritten. The number of transactions? That's a pulse on the economic activity. And the hashes? Those are the unbreakable links holding this entire digital history together.
All of this shows us that the blockchain isn't just a boring old ledger. It's a living, breathing digital museum. We've only examined one artifact today, but there are hundreds of thousands more, and every single one has its own unique story. So the only question left is, what are you going to discover?